Okay, so in this section we're going to talk about exponential functions. So the legend goes that in China a long time ago, there was the Chinese emperor walking around, and a cart was going to run him over, and this peasant saves his life. And so the emperor's really happy, and he says, "Oh, I'll give you anything you want. I'll give you like half my kingdom, you know." And the peasant says, "Well, take a checkerboard and put 1 grain of rice on the first square, and then double it for the second square, 2 grains of rice, and then keep doubling it for the whole checkerboard." And the emperor loses all his money because by the last square that's much rice, and so he loses everything. So that's an example of exponential growth. If you go back and look at the charts for the growth in cases of COVID-19 over the months like back March through June, it was going up exponentially, and they showed graphs and stuff on TV. Other things grow exponentially as well. So that's what we're talking about with these exponential functions. And exponential functions come in this form right here. Now, a represents a real number. The real number has to be greater than 0, and it can't equal 1. If it equaled 1, then you don't really get anything happening, because 1 to any exponent is just going to be 1. So that's why you can't have it be 1. Okay, and it needs to be positive. If it weren't positive, then we run into a different type of thing happening. Okay, so that's the form for an exponential function. So an example, you could have something like g of x equals 3 to the power of x. And that's why it's called an exponential function, because the variable is in the exponent. See, we haven't had that before. We've had variables, but not in the exponent. Okay, so now we have 3 types of functions we've talked about in this class. We have linear functions, so they look like f of x equals 5x plus 2. Something in the form ax plus b. That's a linear function. We've had quadratic functions, I'll call this one g, that come in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. And, we've worked with the quadratic functions over the last couple chapters. And now we have exponential functions that look something like, 6 to the power of x, or something like that. So I didn't give you an example for the quadratic function, but, a quadratic function could be 3x squared plus 2x plus 1. That could be a quadratic function because it has the x squared in it. Okay, so that's just a little bit about functions, and then we're going to study the exponential functions in the next videos.